Creatures of the night. Let's talk about New Japan G1 Climax 35, night 15. This is literally me saying, girl, you don't need to get dolled up to do a video 4 o'clock in the morning. Just get off the bed and do this now, because it's not like you weren't just going to lay there and cry over the results. You might as well just do the video now. We had a very interesting night. You guys know, like, we are literally right around the corner from the playoffs, and the points are really moving really quickly. Most people have between 8 and 10 points. And then we have Zack Sabre Jr. who has 12 points. But what happened tonight? I'll tell you. Started off with a tag team action. Daiki Nagai teaming up with Shingo Takagi to go against our War Dogs, Taiji Ishimori and Jula Maloney. Our War Dogs end up taking the win via submission. And once again, Daiki Nagai is really impressing me. I can't wait to see so much more out of his career once the tournament is over. Now, after this, we get our boys from TMDK, Hartley Jackson, and the front man in my heart, Zack Sabre Jr., going against Sho Mikado and Yoshihashi. Now, this was a teaser of what's to come for night 16, because it's really important for Zack to beat Yoshihashi. I do believe that even if Yoshihashi is able to beat Zack, I think Zack will still be okay, but it's still very important. After our boys from TMDK ends up taking a win, Zack is really up in the face of Yoshihashi. And I hate to say this, but I think that he is perhaps underestimating Yoshihashi at this point. Yoshihashi, he still has, let me do the math. 8 points. He still has 8 points. So, you know, even if he's still safe right now, but like I said, there's quite a few people with 10 points and also with 8 points. So this is really important for him to win that match against Zack as well. Zack is being a bit of a showboat after the match, even waving the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in front of Yoshihashi. And I'm just like, baby, I understand it. You're the best in the world, but let's not get too excited, because I think Yoshihashi will be ready for you at night 16. After this, we have our next tag match. We have Katsuya Morishima teaming up with Shota Umino to go against United Empire, Jacob Austin Young, and the Great Okan. I am very salty over Shota beating Takeshita last night. Like, I mean, after I did my review, I was looking at what other people thought about what happened, and majority of, I would say, like 85% of people were not happy about it, and then Shota had a few supporters that were really happy for him. And then I saw a lot of reviews about the match being horrible. I honestly didn't think the match was horrible. I think people might have been even more saltier than I was and felt some type of way about the result, and kind of made that base their decision on how bad the match went because the wrong person ended up losing. But anyway, great tag match here. Once again, Jacob Austin Young have been impressing me. I really enjoyed him throughout, these tag matches, and hopefully we'll see what happens with him next year, perhaps maybe being part of the G1. And our boys from United Empire takes the win. Great Okan will be going against Shota Umino. I'm nervous about this because I really do feel like the odds of Great Okan winning is very slim. Like, even if Great Okan wins, this does much for him. But if Shota loses, I think he'll still be in the playoffs. My math, like I said for the millionth time, is not great thanks to the New York public school system. So definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board after tonight and see where people will be placed in terms of where they rank with their points. Now for our fourth tag match, we have House of Torture, which is Yoshinobu Kanemaru teaming up with Ren Narita to go against our boys from the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. I do want to say that I forgot to mention this during my Collision review, but Uncle Don was not at Collision, and I was wondering, I'm not 100% sure if maybe we might get Uncle Don to support Takeshita with the remaining week of the tournament. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. And I think that would be a really good thing if he were to be in Takeshita's side. Because I do feel like Takeshita will be in the playoffs, but we'll see. So I'm not 100% sure, but that would be a really nice thing for him to do. However, House of Torture got nothing but tricks up their sleeves, and that ends up helping them take the win. Now let's talk about the Block A matches of the night. Our first Block A match, we have Taichi going against Oleg Boltin. And for me, knowing that Taichi was already out, even though I am not happy about that, because honestly, I would have loved to see, if Taichi would have won, like, I would have been cool with it. I think a lot of people would have been cool with it, with what seemed to have been possibly his last G1. I don't know. You know, he's obviously probably the oldest person in the tournament this year, so I don't know what will happen for next year, but it would have been cool. So for me, Oleg, I really do enjoy him, so I was just like, let him get the fucking points and move on up on the card. Oleg ends up taking the win with a kamikaze, which I'm cool with. Now after this, Sonata, who just comes out in a jacket. No crazy bullishness with fashions and everything. And I just thought, okay, we're cool. Going against Ryohei Oiwa. Ryohei, I really like. So I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I would love to see this. And I remember seeing an interview with Zach not too long ago where he said that it would be really cool that if he were to be going against Ryohei between Block A and Block B in the finals. And I was like, oh, that would actually be pretty interesting to see that go on in the finals. But apparently the company have other plans. Sonata, they don't play fair. Apparently House of Torture with the same shenanigans again, and Sonata wins. This one I was very upset about. I didn't want Ryohei to lose. Like, he's young. He's going to have more opportunities. I know, but still, Sonata, I just felt like didn't necessarily need this win, and maybe it would have been better for Ryohei to advance. Now, our next match, Cullum Neiman, who has bored me the entire time, going against Yota Tsuji. Cullum Neiman needed this win. Tsuji, I mean, like I said, the math ain't mathing right now for me, so I would have to do the math in terms of where everybody's going to rank. And by night 16, I think I will have everything down packed in terms of who's going to the playoffs for sure and who is not. Now, Yota Tsuji and Cullum, they actually had a pretty decent matchup. And Tsuji, the better man won. That's just what it was. And Cullum, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next year, the year after, or a couple of years down the road, you know, we'll see. Maybe he'll get a win. But Yota Tsuji looked really, really great tonight. Ended up taking the win. Now, President Tanahashi, with his little bang swoop to the side, and the ponytail was ponytailing and everything. It was really cute. It was really cute. And he's going against Evil. And I was just like, okay, they didn't do what I wanted them to do when Tanahashi went against Sonata the other day. And I was like, let's see if they will do it this time. So I would say like 90% of this match was literally just Evil and President Tanahashi, fair and square. And I think people were probably surprised about this because typically it's just been Don Fale, Dick Togo, and then coming out and interfering. And a lot of people probably felt some type of way in terms of, okay, this is probably going to go fair simply because it's President Tanahashi. Now, just when it seemed like Evil was getting his ass whooped and probably was about to lose, here comes Don Fale and Dick Togo coming to the ring. And Evil is telling them, no, don't come. He's shooing them away. He's like, look, I got this. It's just me and the president. Y'all stand back. And they proceed to come in anyway. And while they are putting the pause on our president, somehow, someway, as usual, the ref get bumped and he is down and out for as long as they need him to be down. And they proceed to attack President Tanahashi. And just when I'm thinking that, you know, perhaps Evil's just going to stop all this, he decides to join the festivities in attacking our president. And that's all he needed for him to take the win. And I was just like, I don't know why, but I laughed. And I thought that this was great. This was great. Evil has 12 points now. So only he and Zack Sabre Jr. had 12 points. He has 12 points in Block A, and then Zack has 12 points in Block B. And this is what they needed. And I said it, and I was like, look, I know y'all tired of the shenanigans from House of Torture, but for them to have done all this and for somebody not to make the damn finals of anything would be absolutely insane. So now we have Evil with the 12 points. And this was going to be the only way that he was going to win, to be honest with you, if they didn't have that interference. I'm 100% cool with it. Maybe not cool with everything else that happened throughout the tournament. But hey, if you want to win, desperate times call for desperate measures. Now on to the main event. David Finlay versus Yuya Uemura. And to be honest with you, David wasn't on my radar pretty much the entire damn tournament. I was like, I felt like for Block A, if he wasn't going to win, that I saw Yuya really making it to the finals. That's what I saw in my mind somewhere. And David, he started off really rough. Now for this match, David had to win. If Yuya were to win, David would be out. Or if Yuya and David were to last the time limit and both have a draw, David would be out. O-U-T. And David has what I think is his best match of the entire tournament, because he knows that the odds are against him, that in all possibility, well, in 2/3 of the possibilities, that it was just not going to work out for him, so he had to win. Yuya put on a really great fight and almost had him beat. He somehow got him in a submission where both of his arms were behind his back, and David was just seconds away from quitting, so it looks. Once again, Red Shoes is watching David, and he's like quick. He's like, he's obviously speaking Japanese, but I could tell he's kind of like, oh, you want to give up? You quit? You quit? Like, I could tell that's what he's asking him. And David is fighting it. And I was like, where was that energy when your son was getting choked out last night? You know what? Let me not get into it. So then, David starts scooting himself over to the ropes. And as he got really close, Yuya was like, no, bitch, no. And ends up somehow holding the other two arms back while he grabbed the other leg with his arm, just having only one leg out. And David kept scooting over, and he makes it to the rope with that one little leg, and ends up breaking the hold. Now, Yuya is not happy about it, but then the referee says 20 minutes has gone by, and I know it's a 30-minute time limit. And that's when you can see the change in David Finlay's eyes. He's like, nope, I'm not going to be in here for another 10 minutes with this bitch, because if I do, then I'm out. You don't want to draw at this point, because the points will be against him. So he puts on his very best in the last 2 minutes to end up getting the win. And I was almost in tears. So like I said, I had plans for Yuya. That's who I was hoping was going to advance, for Block A. But David Finlay for the win. He does his promo after, and I'm pretty sure he was, thinking like, hey, a lot of y'all probably wasn't thinking about me, especially making it here, especially that rough start that he had. And here we are at this point, and what he got? Does he got 8 points? 10 points. Let me go check how many points we got on the board for everybody. All right, I got the points right here in front of me, because if I don't write this shit down, I'm just gonna forget. Evil in Block A with 12 points. David Finlay with 10. Yota Tsuji, Yuya Uemura, Oleg Bolton has 10 points. Roy Hay has 8. Cullum and Tanahashi And Sonata has 8 points. And then Taichi has 6. Now for Block B, 12 points, Zack Sabre Jr. And for 10 points, Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Takeshita. Now, 8 points, Yoshihashi, Drilla Maloney, Great Okan, El Phantasmo, and Shingo Takagi. I know you hear all those numbers and you're like, wow, that's great. No, people still got to qualify for the playoffs. So the higher you have, the better it is. But at this point, after night 16, we'll know exactly who's going to be in that. So let me see who are next for night 16. All right, so night 16, we got a few. Wow. So hold on. Night 16 is going to be on August 13th, and a couple of days to relax for the boys. So take the little ice baths and everything to get ready for the next night. We have our Block B matches. So we have Shingo Takagi going against Drilla. We also have Yoshihashi going against Zack Sabre Jr. Zack, please, baby, don't lose focus. Stop showboating and everything, and just get the win. Just get the win. Why do I want him to get the win? Actually, why do I even want that? He's already the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Why do I want that? I don't know. Whatever. Shota Umino going against Great Okan. Great Okan, please, please don't let Shota win. Oh my gosh, we'll see. And then for our main event, Ren Narita versus Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita has to win. That's just it. If Takeshita don't win this, I don't think he's going to advance to the playoffs. I don't think he is. Takeshita is actually my pick to win the whole G1. He's still my pick to win the whole thing. So maybe I'll take back about what I said about Zack. Zack, we don't need you to advance. Takeshita, I'll take Takeshita advancing over Zack. Takeshita can get his 12 points and, move forward and hopefully make it to the finals for Block B and maybe even win the G1. Who knows? A girl is still dreaming. It's really late. I gotta go back to bed. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Wednesday with Night 16. See you guys then.